All right, hey, all right, good. I'm already being admonished at the beginning of the dadgum program. Welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show, everyone. Yes. I'm very nervous about tonight's show because it looks so good on paper. It just looks so good on paper. I'm a little nervous about tonight's show. Tonight we have two astounding guests to share with you. From NBC 15, you'll be able to meet Jaysha Patel. Yes! What's Alan Seals really like? We're going to find out. And also, musical guest, Lori Ann Armour. How about that? Yes, very popular local musician. So what an incredible show we have here. She's, by the way, got a new album out, or about to be out. We're going to learn all about that from Lori Ann Armour later as she entertains us with music. Now, before we bring on Jaysha Patel of NBC 15, we'd like to thank all of the supporters. The only way we can keep this show going is if you become a part of the support team and help us pay for the equipment and for Dan, the sound man. And we would like to thank you right now. Thank you so much for all your support, those of you that have donated. Throughout the program, there will be different web addresses that you'll be able to see where you can go and support the program. Thank you so much. We'd like to say a thank you and congratulations to all of the people that have been giving. For example, associate executive producers include Cindy Phillips, Scotty White, Wendy Jen, Mofovius, Frida Schnitzler, Alex Jensen, Rick Henry, Shelby Mitchell, Phil DeBalzac, Ron Reams. Thank you so much. Associate executive producers, Peanut Simmons, Percy Master P. Manders, Jay Akins. Thank you so much. And the newest associate executive producers, Jimmy Graham. Thank you, Jimmy. Jonna Nixon. Thank you, Jonna. Alex Mathis. Thank you, Alex. And Matt Big Head Green. He's so litigious. Thank you, Matt. Matt has his own podcast, Channeling Atticus. You can find that, deepfriedstudios.com. I also want to thank executive producers of the show, Bamba Big Man, Kathy Boyette. Thank you so much. The newest executive producer, Dawn V.D. Wilson. Yes, very unfortunate nickname. Executive producer, Josh Woods of The Grounds. Wendy Lynn Norris, thank you so much. Senior executive producer, Aunt Karen Simmons. Thank you so much. I understand she's sheltering in place at home. Thank you. And she, of course, has the Cheers to Business podcast with her daughter, Katie, an outstanding podcast, deepfriedstudios.com for that podcast as well. Thank you so much. Executive producer, Cheryl Gwynn. Thank you. And Leah Brown, thank you. And Mississippi man, Jeffrey Wimmer. Executive producer, Carmen Brown. The Carmen Brown. Thank you so much. Thank you. The next 10 supporters who donate over $20, you get to become executive, whatever the title is, associate executive producer. Here are the web addresses to make your donations. Always appreciated. We'd like to keep doing this show long enough to do a Christmas show or two. We might even penetrate 2021. You never know. Now, you can help us out also by going to YouTube and subscribing to the Deep Fried Studios YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that. We're also streaming there live as well. Go to youtube.com, search for Deep Fried Studios, subscribe. And he didn't fix his graphics. Well, we're trying to keep this show as real as we can be. All right, now, we're about to bring on Jaysha Patel. One of the things that NBC 15 is known for is their investigative reporting. They do reality checks Andrea Ramey does an outstanding job. Rachel Wilkerson does an outstanding job. All of them really do. Justin Moore, Laura Barczewski, Jaysha Patel. Here's a list of things that I would like NBC 15's reporters to investigate. I'd like to see them investigate, if we can afford a giant electric moon pie, then why can't the potholes on my street get filled? Why not? What century will the Gulf Quest Maritime Museum break even? Has Mayor Stimson ever bought a suit off the rack? The Mobile Illuminati, real or just kind of real? Will a new Bay Bridge get built before we have flying cars? If I wear a mask covering my mouth but hanging beneath my nose, will I only get half sick? Turn signals. Why won't Mobilians use them? Does Governor Ivy protect herself from COVID using hydroxychloroquine or Pabst Blue Ribbon? We want to know. Vienna sausages. Why all the haters? My career. Why am I stuck here doing this? Seriously, why am I stuck here doing this? I can't even get on broadcast television. And morning news teams, how are they all so dadgum cheerful and pleasant that early in the morning? I can't even fake that. And we're going to get an answer now from Jaysha Patel. Please welcome Jaysha Patel of NBC 15. Jaysha Patel, thank you for agreeing to do this show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
How do you have that cheerfulness in the morning? Darwin Singleton, Kyle Hansen, especially Jamie McGriff. How do you get cheerful?
We don't. It's literally for a minute 30. It's actually kind of funny. I was at the airport one time doing a live hit, and I was sitting there on my phone with my photog Diambro, and I literally heard someone walk by, and they go, "They look so much happier on TV." And I was like, I mean, it's 3:30 in the morning. I sleep in between live hits. I'm not cheery all the time. I try to be, but it's hard. You know, the lack of sleep gets to you.
All right, now, home viewer, already in the first answer, we've learned TV slang. We've learned live hit, which we didn't know, did we? And then photog. We're learning the slang right here from Jaysha Patel. So when do you have to wake up in the morning?
Oh gosh. So I get up at 12:30.
Now, no, come on. You get up at 12:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
Does anybody else get up that
No,
early?
everyone gets up at a normal time, but me, I take a long time to get ready. I'm like one of those people where people are like, "You're one of those girls that takes 2 hours to get ready." Yeah, I am. Shower, hair, makeup, all that type of stuff. It takes a while.
12:30 a.m. What
Yeah.
a punishment.
I know. And normal people get up at 2:30. I just can't do that.
Normal people.
Well, I mean, normal morning newsies. I don't. I know, and I don't like to say what time I get up because people are like, "You're crazy. Like, it takes you that long to put on makeup?" Yeah, it does.
You see, I was feeling put upon that I wake up at 3. I get up at 3 a.m. and now you've made me feel like a slacker. I mean, you get up at 12:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
So that means you go to sleep, you go to bed at 4 p.m.?
4 to 6 p.m. 4 is like really great. If I'm in bed, I like to get in bed at 4 and I can wind down, I can, read or, call my parents, talk to them, go on the computer for a little bit, kind of get sleepy, and then by 6 I should be like knocked out.
All right, so what are you on?
Nothing. Nothing. And literally, trust me, I've tried melatonin, magnesium. I've tried all those things to fall asleep. It's just one of those things. You can never really get used to going to bed that early because your body's just not meant to go to bed that early and wake up that early. But, I love the morning shift. I can't see myself on any other shift. And I know that sounds crazy.
It does. It does.
Like, who willingly does that? But maybe it's because I'm young that I can do it.
All right, well, that won't last.
Darwin does it.
Darwin doesn't get up at 12:30 a.m.
Darwin does not, but I don't know. I think it's because I love my job so much. I know that's kind of like corny, but I love who I work with. I look forward, and I go to work. I'm supposed to go in at 3:30, but I actually do go in to work around like 2:30, 2:45, just to give myself extra time to research what my story is, write my scripts and stuff like that. So I'm not supposed to be getting up that early and going in, but that's just what I voluntarily do.
That's a winner.
See, this is already.
Thank you.
I mean, this has already blown my mind. In the first few minutes of the interview, my mind is blown. All right, now, before we look at some of the pictures we have to talk about the life and times of Jaysha Patel, for the people that, by the way, if you've not watched NBC 15's morning show, they won the Nappy Award this year for the best, their best morning show, best morning news show with that crew there, both on air and behind the scenes. Now, explain to people what your role is on that show.
So as the morning reporter, I'm basically covering the news out in the field. So, while Jamie and Darwin are the anchors, they stay in-house. I'm outside. So bad weather, hurricane, tropical storm, crime scene, fire, bayways blocked, for the millionth time. I'm out there covering that. So whatever's happening out in the field that folks need to know, I'm out there.
So you're almost never in the studio with them. You're almost always out somewhere.
Yeah, usually the only time I'm in studio is if I don't have a photog, because for safety reasons, just being outside in the dark isn't the safest thing to do.
Right.
So, my bosses and everyone's really great at the station about my safety. So if I don't have a photog to help me out there, I'm in-house with Darwin and Jamie.
Is there ever a morning where there's nothing, you don't know where to go? That there's nowhere interesting to go?
No. I think there's always something happening in Mobile.
Now, for those of us that grew up here, if you grew up here, that is a weird thing to hear somebody say. Isn't there? There's always something going on in Mobile?
There's always something to investigate. There's always something happening. I mean, you'd be surprised. The scanner's an interesting place. I mean, the things you hear over the scanner. I one time heard that someone stole a hearse.
Okay, all right.
We went out there and we tried to find it. We couldn't find it. But you hear some strange things over the scanner.
She's like Lois Lane.
All right.
She's like, yeah.
Well, we need another show we might try to do one night.
gosh.
Just come in here and just sit and listen to a scanner.
Or
Johnny Gwynn off mic, and he's very boisterously interjecting tonight. Now, Jaysha Patel, we have some pictures of you. Now, one of the reasons we wanted to have you here is because we found out that you were a child actress, a working child actress, and we're going to go through the career. Now, what is this? This is you. How old are you here?
Oh gosh, I'm probably 9 to 11. That was at the LA Improv, and I did child stand-up comedy.
fantastic.
All right, now, how did that happen?
So it's not, obviously going up there and just being funny, because let's be honest, that's really hard stuff to do. So basically what would happen with this is about a month before the showcase, you would meet with actual comedians. They'd sit down and be like, so tell us about your life. And I'd rant about what I hated in middle school and what my parents made me do, what they made me eat, the vacation I just went on. And we would create kind of like a funny monologue, and then we would go up on stage. That would be our showcase, what we said on stage.
But the question, now how did you what was the motivation? Did mom and dad force you to earn money for the family?
No.
Or was this something you wanted to do?
This is something I wanted to do, and I did acting classes, and the same woman, Joey Paul Jensen, she was a casting director for Disney. She had also a side gig where she did the stand-up, and so it was a great way to get on stage and talk in front of people, get rid of nerves, just kind of public speaking type stuff. So my dad's like, do you want to do this? I think it'd be cool, just kind of give you more experience up there. And I was kind of like, yeah, and I ended up doing 20-something shows over the 4.5 years I was there.
20 shows as a stand-up comedian as a child?
I'm not that funny, though. Like, I think this video's on YouTube.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Where do we find that?
Oh, go and look in the night.
I probably should not have said that, because now everyone's going to go watch it, and they're going to be like, she sucks.
All right,
But keep in mind, I was like 9.
All right, now what is this? This is you acting?
So this is actually in the New York Times Magazine. That's my dad behind me. And she was just kind of like pose for a photo for the article, because the article's name, I believe, was Hollywood Elementary, and it was about the day in the life of a child actor. And so Adrienne Nicole Blanc, who was a journalist who wrote this article, she would come with me to school. She would go to my acting classes together. And so this was the day I was at one of my acting classes where I had to learn how to cry on cue. And so she took a picture of me either before or after my acting class.
Could we do a cry on
Oh,
No, well, let me ask you this. Now, Johnny Gwynn wants her to cry now. We don't want that. This show is about having fun and enjoying ourselves. But if you were covering a story, a dramatic story, could you force yourself to cry on camera for the story?
Now?
Not right now, but like if you were out doing a morning hit, a news hit with a photog, and you're talking about, and they stole the hearse. And could you have like a tear come down your face?
You know, I think I still could, because to be honest, to make myself cry back then, because there were, a bunch of techniques, put Vicks, onions, people would literally rub onions under their eyes, they do crazy stuff, but I did not want to do that. And I literally, and I know this is really morbid, sorry mom and dad, because I know they're watching, I think about my parents and like a dog being dead, and I would just start crying. I know it's dark. I don't mean to bring down the mood, the vibe. I'm a vibe killer, but that's really what I would think about. And if I think about my parents being dead now, I would honestly start crying. I'm not gonna think about that.
All right, well, good. Well, I admire the fact that when you have a choice between Vicks Vapor Rub or dead parents, you made the difficult choice.
Should not be
She gets up
laughing.
at 12:30 a.m. and she makes the difficult choices.
Oh gosh.
All right, now this morning when I was talking to Darwin on WNTM on my morning show, Darwin compared you to Shirley Temple.
But why? Do you guys see the resemblance?
Now, do you know who Shirley Temple is? You're very
I
young.
know who Shirley Temple is, and I've seen her house too. They do those like Hollywood tours and things like that. I love the Shirley Temple drink. I'm really hideous as Shirley Temple.
Well, wait
I
a
don't
minute.
think she ever had braces.
Shirley Temple could sing and dance. Now, did you ever sing and dance?
I did, but now I sound like a dying whale. I lost it. I used to do singing classes.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I can dance. I'm Indian, so I have rhythm. But I used to do dance classes.
Wait, time out. Jaysha, we don't discuss ethnicity on this program.
Very problematic.
We don't.
Well, everyone, Bollywood. The quintessential.
Yes.
Pet the dog, twist the light bulb.
Hey, by the way, for the home viewer, you're learning so much tonight already. Bollywood, if you really want to see something interesting, watch Bollywood superhero movies.
Yes.
But put like 3 hours aside, because
Very
Bollywood movies
weird.
are long.
Yes.
They're long.
All right, so now, is this more stand-up comedy?
That's in the pictures.
So this is not on YouTube. And the reason why, I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but so this was I went to India for my cousin's wedding. This was like 2008. And I haven't been to India in a long time. I went when I was a baby, so that was my first time in India, actually I could remember. And I went for my cousin's wedding and I did a whole stand-up skit thing about my trip. And people from India saw it on YouTube, and they did not like the fact that I was talking about bidets and things like that. So I was getting death threats, mean comments, and a random man in France, because my dad had the YouTube channel where he'd post my comedy stuff. So a guy had basically stole my video of my comedy, posted on his channel, called me a North Indian prostitute, and I got a bunch of death threats at the age of 13. And I kid you not, for over a year, my dad and I, we were writing, emailing YouTube. We were doing everything we could to get the video and the title taken down, and it took like over a year and a half to get it down. But now it's just down permanently. But it was one of my funniest, in my opinion, one of my funniest comedy skits I did.
But what? All right, I hate to go down this road. We wanted to have fun, but I just need to know what about the video caused the death threats? Was it?
I think it's because I was poking fun. I went to India, expected toilet paper. I'd go to the bathroom, and one of the bathrooms I was talking about, it just had a hose, and I was like, "Mom, what do I do with this?" Just little things like.
But people are very sensitive about their bathrooms.
I guess so. They took it to heart, and I was getting called a curry muncher, and I was getting death threats.
Wow. All right, let's move on from this. I did not expect this.
I know.
Never do body humor.
All right. Now, what is this? You're on some type of motor scooter. What is this?
This is a Razor scooter ad. And for a couple of years in Target, I was on the big Razor scooter box, so my mom would force me to go into the scooter and bike aisle so we could go look at myself on the box. And in college and in high school, people turned me into a meme.
Wow. All right. Now, Now, do you did they save all this scooter money and put it in a trust fund for you?
No, it's not one of those things. When you do an ad like this, it's not like residual checks when you're on like
Right.
a TV show. Once you get paid for it, you get paid for it.
Okay.
So when I was younger, I didn't do acting for the money. A lot of the money, I was just like, parents' bills, things like that. It was never, something I asked about.
So little children in Alabama, if they were actors and they were paid as a child, they'd save their acting money, and then when they would turn 16, they would buy like a Trans Am, correct? They'd buy a Trans Am. What, did you save money and buy something, or?
Now, in California, there's a law that you have to put it into a bank account called a Coogan account. So that was money that had been accumulating over the 4.5 years I did acting. And I just recently, well, not recently, like a year ago before I moved to Mobile, got the money out of that account, towards moving expenses and stuff like that. But you have to put a little bit of each paycheck in there.
All right, so all of your work enabled you to end up here. That's very good. All right, now you were in movies. Tell us about these movies. All right, Blind Ambition and The Troublemaker?
So Troublemaker was maybe one of the first things I've ever done in California. This is actually a student film by a woman called Geeta Malik. And my role in that was a very troubled, mean child.
Well, let me interrupt. Let me interrupt. So Johnny Gwynn, producer of the show, went online to find descriptions of these movies.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so Blind Ambition, starring Jaysha Patel. The description reads, blind teen, Sapna, aspires to run a marathon as a tribute to her deceased mother. Now, did you play Sapna?
I played the younger version of her. So the childhood scenes, I played her. So her running and things like that when she was a kid, that was my role.
All right, so did you have to run? You had to
Yeah.
pretend that you couldn't see?
Yeah, well, this has been a while. I think I was able to see and then I went blind eventually. I can't remember too much because I was very young when I did this. I remember a lot of running scenes, but
Now,
I don't remember the logistics of the blindness.
If you were in a movie, wouldn't you remember what you did in the movie?
I'm sorry.
I would.
It blends together.
All right, this movie,
This one I remember.
Troublemaker.
Yeah.
Rekha is broke, jobless, and often drunk. When she overhears surprising news about her absentee father, she embarks on a road trip. Were you the drunk girl?
I was not. I was
okay.
I was the young girl. I believe my name was Jaya, so close to my name. And I was a very troubled girl, and I needed to go get help, and I was strangling the priest's son and just not doing good things as a child. And basically the whole thing is I go to this woman, and she's like, oh, she was, born with bad luck since she was born, and the whole movie's about my journey growing up.
All right, so if we went on Amazon, would we find these on Amazon Prime? Blind Ambition, Troublemaker?
You might, or Vimeo, or maybe YouTube. This is a student film. This wasn't an actual movie. This one, you might be able to find it.
All right, folks, you need to be doing your homework this weekend. All right, now the next one, this is a movie you're in with Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Crossing over with Harrison Ford, Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
All right, now Crossing Over is about illegal aliens or undocumented aliens.
Sorry.
Undocumented, I want to say the right phrases. Undocumented immigrants of many nationalities in Los Angeles. What part did you play in that movie?
And so this movie was about different families who immigrated to America. And so my specific family, in the movie we're all Muslim, and I had a sister, and she wrote an essay about how she understood 9/11. They think she's a terrorist. She has to end up getting deported, and I played her little sister. And so in the movie, the part about our family is our sister getting deported, and me and my brother in the previous picture, we were the ones who were born in America, so we got to stay here. But she had to leave.
Now, in the movie, did you get to be in any scenes with the famous big actors like Harrison Ford?
Ashley Judd. I got to be with her. There's a scene at the end of the movie where, fun fact, I had to basically cry for a whole day. So for months after, I could not cry. Tears would not come out of my eyes. But the scene where my sister gets taken to be deported, we had to do that scene over and over and over and over again that day. So I had to cry on cue over and over and over again. But Ashley Judd was very, very nice.
Did you have to think of the death of your parents all day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was rough. They kept giving me Visine and stuff because my eyes were just so red. And like I said, for months after, I couldn't cry.
Wow. You know, when I heard child actor, I thought it might be fun, and that's very. This is darker than I thought.
It always ends poorly.
All right, now
Oh gosh.
all right. So you were on The Office. Now, has anyone here heard of The Office? All right, tell us what you did on The Office.
I played Kelly's sister, and so that was me. There was 3 of us, and so basically, in the episode, the Diwali episode, obviously Kelly and Ryan have the thing going on, and I come up to Ryan and I start making fun of him, and I say, Kelly Zach Braff ko pasang karti hai, which means Kelly likes Zach Braff. And we're just poking fun at him, and we're making fun of him and stuff. And fun fact, the audition was to literally say that one line, literally go in, say that line, leave. So I never thought in my life I'd actually get the role of playing Kelly's sister, but yeah.
All right, so this is something people can easily find online and watch your part over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure people ask you about this all the time. What do people want to know?
I think the number one question I get is, how are the cast members? And to be honest, everyone was really nice. Steve Carell was very quiet, wasn't very, he was just kind of to himself, went to his trailer, understandable. Everyone else was pretty nice. Dwight is basically the same in real life. He came up to me and handed me a lightsaber and was like, lightsaber war, and I was kind of like, okay. The 2 people I hung out the most with Kelly and Ryan, and so Mindy Kaling is so sweet, and she's a huge role model of mine because growing up there weren't a lot of, Indian people on TV, so it was really cool to meet her.
So how often do people bring this up to you?
All the time. It's one of those things where when I went to high school, I never told anyone. I think I told maybe like 1 or 2 people, and then by like my sophomore year of high school, everyone kind of found out, and it's on Google. Like I can't hide it, And so it's just something that I don't really mention it a lot, but if it's mentioned, I'll talk about it.
Now, when did you stop acting when did you stop doing that stuff?
Sophomore year of high school, so I was 16.
Okay, why?
So I guess long story short, my acting, I have the best parents ever. I don't want to get emotional talking about this, but they're very selfless and amazing parents, did everything for my career. People thought my dad was crazy because he sat me down when I was 8 years old and he was like, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. And so my parents, they still are married, but my dad speaks better English. He doesn't have an accent. And so my mom was like, I'll stay here, take care of the business, the house. You go with Jaysha, you know more about business and things like that. Well, a couple months out in California turned into 4.5 years. So my mom would visit me once a year on my birthday out there. And when the recession hit, my mom was kind of like, you guys need to come back. I've been without my daughter and my husband for so long, totally understandable. So my dad literally picked me up from school one day and was like, we're going home. And they continued, to support my career. My dad would drive me 2 hours away to Orlando, Florida, because we're from Bradenton, to take my auditions. And we would fly out to California for auditions, but for callbacks. But obviously that gets very expensive, gas money, flight money. And so, my dad was like, why don't you finish off high school? And if you want to go back out there for college, by all means, be an actor. But while I was in high school, we had a broadcast program, and I was volunteering in different countries, and I really grew a passion for meeting new people, volunteering, helping people, and news. And so I kind of shifted paths and decided to go to college for journalism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fascinating, the ups and downs of all this. So, and now so Mobile, Alabama is your first TV job?
It's my first TV job.
How did that happen?
Honestly, I don't know. I was in my college dorm room, my senior year of college, and I got a phone call at like 6 something, and I thought it was a robocall, so I'm like, hello. And I get, hi, this is Bob from NBC 15 in Mobile. I'm like, oh, hi. And he was like, we have an opening. I saw your reel. I'd love to talk to you about our open position. And it was crazy because in college, I always said I wanted to work somewhere warm. I wanted to work as a morning reporter, and that's exactly what I got in the job. And it kind of, I guess, fell in my lap, and I'm so grateful.
Now, he saw your reel. Did you send your reel to him, or did you just, out of the blue, he saw your reel?
I posted it on YouTube. Because
Okay.
usually when you make a news reel, you post it on YouTube so people can, look at it, and news directors often find talent from there. And so I believe he saw my reel on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is all fantastic. So this is a picture of you with Darwin. Is that Rachel Wilkerson?
This is Priscilla. She was one of our former producers.
Okay. So this is you at a Mardi Gras ball?
That was my very first Mardi Gras ball, very first Mardi Gras season. I've never celebrated Mardi Gras until I moved here.
So what were your impressions of Mobile Mardi Gras?
It was so much fun. And news is kind of sad a lot of the times. A lot of times we're not reporting on, good stuff, right? Especially
That's
right now
right.
with the world. So to go to, cover a parade for a day and go to, eat beignets with Darwin on air, like that was the best day ever.
All right, now what is Darwin Singleton really like?
I know he's watching, so.
Well, you don't know
I'm
that.
just kidding. He told me he was.
Well, yeah, he may be asleep or something. What is he really like?
Darwin sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Darwin and I are really close. Darwin is super funny. He's sassy. We're always, I don't know if you sometimes watch our Facebook Lives, he'll tell me like my hair looks a mess. He's just a funny guy. He's a sassy guy. I learned so much from him. He helps me on air and, when I'm not on air, just in life in general. He's a really nice guy. What you see on air is what you get in person, to be honest.
He helps you in your life?
Yeah, like life advice. I'm adulting. I'm turning 24 next week. I'm very young. And so, I'm being a big girl, paying my bills and things like that for the first time. So I often go to him. I'm like, hey, what does this mean? What does this word mean? What does this mean when it comes to finances and stuff like that? And he'll help me out.
So he's kind of like a surrogate parental figure.
I call him my work dad, and Jamie McGriff, I call her my work mom.
Wow.
It's an ongoing joke. And what's funny is actually Jamie's birthday is the same day as my real mom's birthday.
All right, so this is why they win the nappy. They're close-knit.
Yeah, we really are.
They work well together. By the way, there's a very important football game going on. St. Paul's and Spanish Fort, and the score update is St. Paul 17, Spanish Fort 7. That is, and 9 minutes left in the whole game? Wow, okay. All right, so Darwin you enjoy working with. Alan Seals, have you ever spoken to Alan Seals?
Very briefly, because I leave by, my shift's 3:30 to 12:30, so he comes in, I believe, around 2. From when I've seen him, very nice guy, very down-to-earth, very nice guy, but I don't see him often because he's night side and I'm mornings.
Okay, so because you get up at 12:30 a.m., there's no opportunity to really get to know
Well, I get
Alan
off
Seals.
around lunchtime, so yeah, I don't see him, unfortunately.
What was it like when Alan Seals came to work there? Was it a spirit of excitement?
Oh, for sure. And it was kind of funny because people were like, oh, y'all know. There were rumors that he was coming, and people were like, you guys know. And we're like, no, we kind of found out when y'all found out. Like, we really didn't know. And so we were also kind of like, is he coming? Is he coming? But we really didn't know until they announced it. And so we were all super excited. That was a great addition to our team. Of course, we miss, Chris and Jake, but it was very exciting to have him on the team.
Very nice. All right, now, do we have any? Oh, by the way, we are going to take phone calls here. Please be kind. If you embarrass me in front of Jaysha Patel, that could really cut the pipeline of good guests. I mean, it really could. This is an outstanding guest. We've had ups and downs, tragedy and comedy. We've learned her life could be a movie so far. Aww. But please be kind with the phone calls. We're going to open up the phone calls here in just a moment on the program. Also, a reminder that after Jaysha Patel and I take phone calls, Lori Ann Armour will provide some musical entertainment for us. Real quick, before we get into the phone calls and other stuff, so is there anything about you're on TV, people are looking at you every day. Mm-hmm. Do you like that, or do you dislike the fact that you have to be looked at all the time?
It's good and bad. The good is, I love my job. I think we're doing, a valuable service to the community, holding people accountable, letting folks know at home what they need to know before, they head out the door. But also, the bad part is, people forget that we're human, and I feel like when people see other people on TV, they kind of think they're like robots and they have no emotions. And so the mean hate comments and the emails and, the things people yell at you out the window when you're trying to go live, I feel like people kind of forget, if you don't want someone to talk to you that way, don't talk to them that way, And so I think that's the hard part about being on TV. You definitely have to have thick skin.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to talk to other people on television through the years, and the female news personalities in particular have told me that viewers always have comments about what they're wearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get comments about what you're wearing?
Okay, so I'm very fortunate, and I hope people saying this aren't like, well, she's only gotten one hate email. Like, let me send her one. But I've gotten one email, and there was a woman who didn't like what I was wearing, and she said I didn't represent the station professionally. But mainly, and I'm just totally being honest, it's a lot of weird guys asking me about my feet.
What?
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute. This is weird.
Yeah.
Asking you about your feet.
I've got one man offered me $50 to send him a picture of my feet. And then
What is the matter with you perverts out there?
a week and
You
a
sick
half,
perverts.
a week and a half, someone emailed my work email and asked me if I went barefoot on air. So
This is you sick people out there. She is gonna, she'll be out of this town eventually, moving on to bigger towns. You don't want her to have people say, what was it like in Mobile? Oh, Southern hospitality, but a bunch of perverts.
And you know what's funny is a lot of the men that message, one reporter messaged a bunch of reporters across the United States. And so there's a Facebook group with a lot of women in news. And it's funny because oftentimes they'll be like, hey, ladies, watch out. This man messaged me, blah, 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 blah. And then other women will chime in and be like, this man messaged me the same thing. So the guy who messaged me about if I went barefoot on air has apparently messaged if not 100, a lot of women across the United States who work at different stations in different states.
See, I know this show is on the internet, but isn't the internet a cesspool? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, you can get all this great information in a wonderful show like this, and at the same time, there's just filth out there. It's enabling the perverts to reach out and put the perversion in people's lives. And I'm sick of it. You should be ashamed of yourself if you've ever sent a message like that.
We just get a wide shot so we can see.
No, don't show her feet, please.
I had my feet. No, right
No,
now.
don't show her feet. Don't you dare.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you're gonna make fun of my feet. Look at how bad my foot tan is.
Well, you're showing me your feet.
I wear certain work shoes every day. I wear these flats, and because I'm outside every day out in the field, I have the worst foot tan line. So even if anyone wanted a picture of my feet, I think they'd ask for a refund. They'd want their cash back, so.
This is the first time in my life that I've felt embarrassed to see somebody's feet. Now I feel embarrassed that you showed me your foot. And I'm afraid to look down there now.
Oops.
I'm afraid to look down there now.
Wow.
This is we've learned all kind of stuff. Now somebody in the audience is commenting on the feet.
Oh gosh.
All right, look, before we go to phones, the phone calls, get ready to give us some good phone calls. Now, before we get to the phone calls, NBC 15's morning newscast won the Nappy Award. The Nappy readers voted it best morning newscast in Mobile. And we want to keep those Nappy Awards coming. So I put together some suggestions.
Oh God.
I put together some suggestions
Okay.
of ways to improve the
Let's do
NBC
this.
15 morning news.
Okay.
All right, first suggestion is rename it the Alan Seals Morning News Experience. Put Alan Seals' name on it. Also, prominently display your nappy banner behind the anchor desk at all times. Jaysha Patel and Jamie McGriff, they should anchor the news while Darwin is forced to go out and revive his classic Where's Darwin feature. Now, before you were born, Darwin, every morning...
Darwin feels very young watching this.
Before Darwin was born, every morning we'd tune in and see Darwin out interviewing elderly women crocheting.
Yeah. I have a magnet of him. It says, "Where's Darwin?" and it's Darwin like that, and it's on my fridge.
All right, very nice. Yeah. Another suggestion, let viewers take turns deciding what Kyle Hansen wears every day.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I like that.
Also, make time for a brief cartoon. That would be for the little children watching or the people that are on drugs. Allow one lucky viewer an opportunity to eat breakfast on the set. Bam, a big man. I've got somebody, he's eating breakfast on my radio show. Try to use only 1 or 2 syllable words. That would be for the people of Theodore. You want to be understood even by the people of Theodore.
Oh, gosh.
Keep a puppy or a kitten on the set at all times.
Yes.
Imagine the ratings if Darwin had a little puppy as he delivered the news. Have a picture of Alan Seal's head in the lower right-hand corner of the screen at all times.
I thought we did on the Weather Channel.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. Also have a segment for an elderly local radio personality whenever possible. Just saying. And also, people love fireworks. How about, your show comes on before the sun is up. You could, on Friday mornings, you could have fireworks before sunrise.
Sprinklers.
How about that?
Yeah.
Boom. There you go.
All right, look, we're ready to go to the
I'm
phones
scared.
for Jaysha Patel. Now, again, please, she is a pipeline to quality guests. We don't want to have to start interviewing people like the Bankhead Tunnel inspector. No offense to the Bankhead Tunnel inspector, but we want to keep having great guests like Jaysha Patel. It's my dream to one day get an Alan Seals, a Greg Peterson, or an Alan Seals. So please keep those phone calls as nice as you can. All right, do we have any callers on the program? All right, we do have some callers. Let's go ahead and start some phone calls here on the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Hello, caller. Hello.
Good evening there.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Miss Patel. You're a very beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you displaying your feet. I understand that Uncle Henry likes to paint the toenails of his big fat mama.
You hang up on that guy. Hang up on that guy. How sick. Now the insults of my mother have gone to an even lower level.
Oh.
Cut it out. All
I
right.
brought socks.
And again, I'm afraid to look down there. Let's take another call. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey, tonight's show is awesome, and Jaysha, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Woo.
Yes.
Hey, did you know you have a cinematic connection to Mobile?
Cinematic connection to Mobile?
What's that?
Yes, follow along with me.
What?
You were in a movie with Harrison Ford.
Right.
Harrison Ford played Han Solo. Han Solo was in a movie with Jabba the Hutt. And Jabba the Hutt was played by Henry's mother.
Would you hang up on that guy? Dadgummit. This is not... I'm never going to... This show... I don't know, why do you have to try and attack the show like this and attack me and my... my mother's still alive. All right, is there another call? Hello, caller. Yes.
Hi, Jaysha.
Oh my gosh.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever won a Best Hair in Alabama award?
A what?
I have. Is it best hair?
Best Hair. Tell me about it.
That
Right.
was my first.
Below.
Oh, okay.
All right, hang up on that guy. Can we get a question that isn't superficial?
No,
and
that
creepy?
was my first. Okay, so 4 months into the job, I get this email in my inbox, and it was, "You have good head," and I'm like, "What is this?" And so I click on it, and it says you won a Harry, and I'm like, "Is someone calling me Harry?" And I ended up winning a Harry award for best, newswoman with the best hair in Alabama, and I don't know how that happened because there are other women with way better hair than
All right, now time out. You don't know how that happened.
I don't.
Just 20 minutes ago, you told us that you get up at 12:30 a.m. to apply makeup and things to yourself.
But I mean, when you see me on air, half the time my hair is straight because of humidity. My hair looks like, not good. But after the show, my hair is in a bun on top of my head. I mean, I'm not walking around looking like a beauty queen all day. It looks good for 2 seconds on air, and then, it's got to go up.
All right, do we have another call? Hello, caller. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Henry.
Yes.
David Calamari here.
Hey there, David
I just want
Calamari.
to tell you, I've listened. This is my favorite Friday night experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys, your callers, for at least the last 3 weeks have been. I mean, your guests have been fantastic.
Thank
and
you.
Jaysha, welcome, Mobile. We are so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And I will tell you that we are a really warm and welcoming people, and love your feet and all that stuff. Yeah, that's great.
I need to hide my feet.
We're gonna do a bunch of-
I just want to say, just keep this going, Uncle Henry.
Well, sir, that's up to you and your wallet.
I got it. I will, as soon as I get my next unemployment check, I will give you part of it.
All right, look,
Sure.
all right, look, if you, if you have a problem with cash flow, just, if you could share this show or tell somebody about it.
That's right. Fantastic.
I don't have a problem with cash flow. It's just, it's there.
All right, well, look, thank you so much for your
Love you
kind
guys.
words. Thank you. All right, now that was good, except for the foot reference. Do we have another caller? Hello.
Good evening.
Norman. Hello, Norman.
Good. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing good, thank you, Norman.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the show. Miss Patel, you sure a pretty and entertaining young lady.
Thank you.
I'll have to watch your, start watching your news show.
Please
Because I
do.
always joked and told Darwin that the girls on the other morning show is prettier than he is. Now you pretty too.
Thank you.
My question to you is how big? Now I missed the part where you said where you were living here on the East Coast instead of on the West Coast. Where were you? Before when you were not out in California and all that.
Yes, where did you live other than California?
So born and raised in Bradenton, Florida. My parents are still there. I'm going back next week to visit them. So we're from Bradenton, Florida. So I've lived in Bradenton, California. I went to school in upstate New York. Shout out Ithaca College. I went to school there, and then now I'm in Mobile.
Very nice.
Well, was it big a culture shock when you come down here with all of us rednecks and Mardi Gras and all that?
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know what to expect. When people said, Mobile, Alabama, the only place I've ever been to is Huntsville. I went there for like a couple days. My cousin used to live there, doesn't live there anymore. And I don't know why. When I thought Alabama, I thought tumbleweeds rolling down the road. I don't know. I was just like, I don't know what to expect. And I came here. And I was like, this reminds me of Florida. It reminds me of my hometown. And so now, when people tell me, you work in Alabama, I'm like, it is not what you expect. It's beautiful, the beaches, the food, the people, Mardi Gras.
We're glad you like it. You did a good job on this show. Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you, Norman.
Thank you.
Hey.
you.
Before we go to another phone call, I just want to thank the Container Yard. The Container Yard is where we do this program. The Container Yard is in downtown. It's office space and co-working. It starts at $3.99 a day. This is where creativity and commerce meet. ContainerYardWorks.com is the website. I told you last week that the people that visit this facility, they are always impressed. They're always impressed by this facility. If I ever get laid off, I will be saving my money for $3.99 a day to be working here. I am. All right, back to the phones for Jaysha Patel on the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Do we have a caller? Hello, caller.
Yes, you do. Hello.
This is Darwin. Darwin.
It might be.
Well, Darwin, what do you have to tell us?
Well, first of all, I wanted to, oddly enough, get in on this foot discussion.
Oh, no, Darwin. Darwin.
Well, I just wanted, what is one of your favorite things to wear in the morning when you're not actually going out on the story?
Oh, my pink fuzzy slippers that are right next to my desk at work.
Yes. Yes. I believe those do expose your pedicure.
They do, but the man who
Yes.
emailed me will not find that out. Unless he's watching.
No. Full disclosure. No, I just wanted to say that Jaysha is a delight to work with, and she's someone that you really want to get to know a little bit better. She's very fair, and she's doing an amazing job at a very early age. And together, her and Kyle, while they don't equal my age, they're actually a little less than that, they have actually made me start feeling my age.
Aww.
Because I have to turn to them whenever I need to know who sings this or what that means or what WAP means or...
Oh, yeah, Darwin.
What did you just say? WAP?
Well, I had a bad experience with that this week that I don't want to talk about.
Oh, no.
I had a bad experience at work. Same thing. Young coworker introduced me to that.
To WAP?
Yes. Don't even say this. Don't even say that.
But it's code. If I need to know what's going on in the world today, I can turn to those two, and they fill me in. And they're very patient with me. So I just wanted to say thank you for your great job, and enjoy watching you tonight. And Uncle Henry, he makes you look good.
Well, thank you, Darwin. And now she told me before we went on the air or on the internet that you have mentored her. You've coached her from time to time. How can will you coach me?
Uncle Henry, I just don't think that I'm qualified to coach a man of your stature.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Whatever that means.
Exactly. All right. Well, Darwin, anything else?
Well, anyway, no, I just want you guys to have a great weekend. And Jaysha, have a great time on your days off, and we will miss you, and we'll hurry back.
Very good. Thank you, Darwin. All right. Yes?
Kyle Hansen, episode 3, if you want to, or episode 3 is Kyle Hansen. Go back and watch.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Johnny off mic offering some producing, which is good. And he wanted to mention that our third episode we ever did was the very unusual Kyle Hansen episode.
Yes.
Where Kyle Hansen sat here and played his guitar and
We
sang.
love that.
Well, but he stared into my eyes.
Did you like it?
I don't like to have people stare into my eyes.
Why? Am I making you uncomfortable?
No, well, you're not singing a song to me in my eyeballs.
Yeah, I shouldn't sing.
All right, see? I would rather you stare into my eyes than talk about your feet. All right, do we have another phone caller? Hello, caller. Yes.
I have a question for Jaysha.
Okay.
Have you ever interviewed a chicken nugget?
What?
Huh? Okay.
Oh, now, come on. You know what? People, hang up on that person. You know, we just had a great call from Darwin, and then boom.
Come on. Was that a child?
That, you know what? Don't let your kids have smartphones until they can afford to pay for it themselves. Let's see, do we have another caller? Hello, caller.
Hey, I've got a problem. I'm watching with Facebook and I can't see her feet.
Hang up on this person.
I'm sorry.
Do we have a legitimate call? Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello.
This poor lady. Every week she calls.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear us?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello?
Can you hear us? I don't think she...
Hello? Hello?
I think he talks to the phone like this.
Hello?
Oh, we lost her. Dadgummit. I felt like that was going to be a good call. Do we have any other callers? Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hang up on that person. Hang up on that person. All right. Hello, caller.
Okay, Henry, this is Freddie calling.
Hey, Freddie.
I had a question.
Okay.
How many pillows do you have on your sofa?
One.
One pillow?
I can only see 5. Are there more than 5?
Oh, there's a lot behind us.
Oh, but that's not a sofa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 pillows behind me and one here.
That makes me so happy. I would say thank you to Uncle Henry, but he did not help me.
Well, come on. That's a ridiculous question. Why would you ask that question?
I needed to take a nap, and I noticed that you had a couple pillows.
Oh.
You don't have a pillow?
You gonna invite him down to take a nap?
Yeah. Do you mind if I'm outside right now?
All right, look, hang up on this person. Hang up on this person. What is going on here? You know, we had a good call from Norman and a good call from Darwin, and I can't recall, were there any other good?
We're done.
Oh, we're done.
Done?
Are we done?
0, yeah.
All right, we are done with the calls. Yes, thank you. All right, now, before we say goodbye to Jaysha Patel, Jaysha, we've now, for those of you that did not watch the NBC 15 morning news, we've created an appetite in your life for it. But she's going on vacation.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll
So
be back on what is next Monday?
Labor Day.
Yeah, I'll be back Labor Day.
Back at work? At work on Labor Day, okay.
Yeah. I'm just taking the next week off for my birthday to see my parents. I haven't been home in over a year.
Now, are we allowed to ask? You're going to be turning 25?
24.
24.
24.
Turning 24.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, very, very young. All right, well, Jaysha Patel, is there anything we haven't asked about NBC 15?
I feel like you've covered it.
She gave us
Darwin, Allen, my feet.
All right, well, look, Jaysha Patel, want to thank you very much. All right, now, Johnny Gwynn, he keeps pointing to the 10 Commandments clock.
that we know that says the music is coming.
All right, now this is a clock. This is the 10 Commandments clock that has an artistic rendition of Moses on it.
It's a minute off, actually.
And
Uh-oh.
was it Laurie Ann Armour that asked if it was Thor?
Yeah, yes.
Thor?
This is Moses. This is not Thor from Marvel's Avengers.
It kind of looks like
That's
Thor.
a Charlton Heston Moses.
All right, so at the top of the hour, it will give us one of the 10 Commandments, and that's the signal that it's time to do our musical guest. What, you want me to force it to do the commandment?
I think we're a minute behind on that thing.
Well, it's not
We need to
accurate.
synchronize it better.
It's not the clock is here for ambiance,
Look,
not to tell time.
It's a high piece of technology, by the way. That
All right.
thing is really.
Oh, really?
Hold on. All right, here we
All
go.
right. Remember, Jaysha Patel can be seen on NBC 15's morning news beginning Labor Day week, and then you'll be able to enjoy wherever they send her. You were just out on Dolphin Island.
I was, yeah, because of the flooded, as usual. Oh, I hear something.
shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
That's an outstanding commandment, because I wanted to do that during those phone calls. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Jaysha Patel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to bring on Laurie Ann Armour. She's getting ready. She's getting her musical equipment ready to go, and we're going to get the microphone set. Want to remind you that the only way to keep the show going is with your donations. Again, if you cannot afford or you're just spiteful, you can still just share the show on Facebook, or go to Deep Fried Studios YouTube channel, subscribe to that. There are ways to help us without having to fork over the cash. But the cash does help us keep the show going. We'd love to keep doing this as long as is possible. Now we want to welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show, Laurie Ann Armour.
Thank you so much.
Laurie Ann Armour, you have gotten quite popular in the last couple of years. How long have you been performing in front of people musically?
Well, I guess I started performing in Mobile probably when I was 19, and I'll be 30 next week. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, did not guess that you were 30.
Thank you.
Thought that you were in the Jaysha Patel range.
I appreciate that.
All right, so how do you describe your music to people?
I don't know. I guess folk music. I don't really like to place myself in any particular genre because I don't try to stick to any kind of sound. I just write what I feel and it comes out however it comes out.
Have you been able to do performing during the pandemic? Because it's been difficult for musicians locally to find places to play safely.
Yeah, definitely. When things first shut down in March, I was able to do, what everybody was doing, perform live on Facebook Live and stuff like that, and ask for tips and stuff, and people were super generous. Here recently, since restaurants and stuff have opened back up, I've been playing mostly outside at places just to try to keep social distancing, make sure everything is, a safe environment. So I've been super blessed to find jobs.
Now, I have been to Laurie Ann Armour's house before. Years ago, when she was a child, her father, the famous, legendary Michael P. Sloan. Michael P. Sloan of 95 KSJ. Michael P. Sloan invited all of us at the radio station to come and have a cookout at his palatial home in Theodore. And we had a wonderful time. Were you there?
I was there, yes.
All right, there was a shock moment, though, where we learned about something about Michael P. Sloan and his family that none of us ever knew. Now, the shock moment, Laurie Ann Armour, was when we all realized, after we had already had our cookout, we realized that you lived with aquariums full of snakes.
Oh.
Yes, reptile loving.
Yeah.
Yes, you were raised around a bunch of reptiles.
Yeah, I blame my brother. And I blame my parents for letting my brother have the snakes. At one point, we had a 10.5 foot Burmese python.
What? Now, why would a family want a python?
I don't know. I mean, he was cool, I guess. His name was Sebastian, and he was never aggressive. He was just big and just everywhere he went. But there were some, like we lost a few snakes. Like they got out of their tanks. That was nerve-wracking.
All right, this is amazing. So you, as an adult, there are a lot of men and women that fear snakes. Do you have any fear at all of snakes?
No, I'm just scared of roaches.
Oh, okay. All right, well, and you know what? I considered the snakes creepy, but having aquariums full of roaches would have been creepier.
Ooh,
right?
Can you imagine that?
All right, now, before we get, I know, weird conversation, but I just had to bring it up. I wanted to get it off my chest. But I love Michael P. Sloan, of course, as many people did, and give him our best.
I sure will.
Now, before you play for us, the album Led by the Light, is it out already?
It is, yes.
Where I know that people can find you on Spotify.
Yes.
Listen to you on Spotify. Where can they get an actual copy if they want one?
So you can go to my website. It's laurieannmusic.com, and that's Ann with an E. Most people forget
right there,
that.
laurieannmusic.com.
Yep, you can order it, and like you said, I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, all the socials.
All right, very good. All right, and Lorianne has told us she'd play a couple of songs for us. What is the first song?
So this song is called "Take Your Time," and I like to dedicate this song to my mother because it's a song giving advice to younger girls when they're pursuing relationships or when relationships are pursuing them.
All right, so now, Jaysha Patel, pay close attention to this song because it's about relationship advice for young women. Okay? All right, now, and I'm going to ask you the same thing I ask all the performers. I love being able to have like a super front row seat for this, but it makes me very uncomfortable when the performers stare deeply into my eyes as they perform.
I'll remember that.
So if you would look at these people or over there, that would be appreciated. All right, now don't do that. She's already started doing it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Lorianne Armour.
Oh, mama, what should I do? I'm walking blind, trying to find my way. Looking for love, 'cause I miss it so much. And I found him along the way. She said, baby, take it slow. You can let him hold you, but not too close, 'cause you've gotta take your time. Enjoy the long talks, the slow walks, and the sweet red wine. Take your time. Take your time. Oh, mama, what should I do? If he tells me he loves me, but I know I don't feel the same. And I know that he'll hurt if I don't say those words. Tell me, what should I do in this case? She said, baby girl, take it slow. There ain't no shame in just letting him know. You've gotta take your time. Enjoy the long talks, the slow walks, and the sweet red wine. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Oh, it'll all be fine. Take your time and keep your peace of mind. Take your time. Baby girl, take it slow. There ain't no shame in just letting him know. You've gotta take your time. Oh, enjoy the long talks, the slow walks, and the sweet red wine. Take your time. Take your time.
Wow. How about that? What a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
What a beautiful voice. Now, Lorianne Armour is going to be, you're going to be back in a few weeks, aren't you?
Yes, I'll be back with my band, hopefully.
Okay, wonderful. So in a few weeks, you'll be able to see a Deep Fried Live one night with your band.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, indeed. Let's see, the band, what instruments do you have in your band?
So we are a folk string band. We've got a stand-up bass player, we've got a dobro player, and we've got a mandolin violin player, and then my guitar.
Wow.
We're called
that
the
is gonna
Speaking
be
Sparrows.
Okay.
I love my band so much. They're literally, I am just blessed to be with them because they are so phenomenal. The instrumentalists.
All right, how about one more song?
Sure.
Now, what will you play for us now?
I'm going to play you guys a song called Sailors Take Warning. And yeah, it is on the record. But I wrote this song based around the old saying, red sky at night, sailors take flight. Red sky at morning, sailors take warning. Talking about, the rising and falling of the tides. Sailors, determining whether they want to go fishing or not because of the high tides and the low tides based on the sunrise. And I turned it into a metaphor about life.
Very nice. Once again, Lorianne Armour.
It may not be my place. I hope I'm not out of line. But that pretty thing you put your faith in may not be the best thing in life. You can never trust a red sky at morning. Sailors take warning. Don't be surprised when the tide starts to rise. Charm is deceptive, and beauty, it's fleeting. So be sure you're looking deeper, you're looking for meaning. Oh, you can never trust a red sky at morning. Sailors take warning. Don't be surprised when the tide starts to rise. Wind blows, fire burns, liars lie, and the humble learn. Wind blows, fire burns, liars lie, and the humble learn. You can never trust a red sky at morning. Sailors take warning. Don't be surprised. You can never trust a red sky at morning. Oh, sailors take warning. Don't be surprised when the tide starts to rise. La da da da.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Lorianne, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
We are looking forward to when you do a full show here.
Thank you.
All right, well, look, we are out of time for the program. Remember, Lorianne Armour, the website is Lorianne Music.
Yes.
LorianneMusic.com. You can also go to Spotify and find her music there. Is your music anywhere else online?
YouTube, Amazon, iTunes.
Very good. So look her up on all those different places and get that music. Outstanding. Also want to thank Jaysha Patel. Thank you, Jaysha. Thank you so much. Want to thank all of you that have donated to the show in the past to keep us going, and thank you for any current donators. We are so much looking forward to the next several weeks. Of course, in the coming weeks, you'll get more Lorianne Armour. I think next week's show is going to be very music heavy. Is it pronounced Steve Centani? Centani.
Oh, he's so awesome.
We're going to talk to him next week.
That's awesome.
He writes about music for the Lambyak publication. So we're going to talk about music a lot next week on the show. Thanks again to you, of course, for your donations and your shares. Thank you to Thank you to the Container Yard for allowing us to be here. Thank you to Steve the Sound Man. Thank you so much. Joe Shannabrook, wherever you are. Also, I want a big thanks to KP of shirtbutter.com, who helps us with social media. We appreciate that help with social media. And of course, the person that works the hardest on this show, Johnny Gwynn. Johnny Gwynn! DeepFriedStudios.com and JohnnyGwynn.com. Let's please now end the show. End it. Goodbye. Turn it off. Don't make me get up and walk off. Is it over? End it while I'm sitting here. Just end it. Turn it off. All right, we're done. Thank you for watching. Dadgummit, I wish I could just